today's video, we're going to be taking a detailed look at one of the most important and also special cars in American automotive history. And that's this car parked here behind me, the 2004 Ford GT CP-1 prototype. Now, CP-1 standing for Confirmation Prototype 1. This car was the fourth ever prototype built by the Ford Motor Company and the first car to ever have a functional engine and full interior. Now, obviously, this car has a number of differences from the standard production Ford GT model. So today, in this video, we're going to be taking a look all around this Ford GT prototype and showing you guys all of the coolest things that this car has that you simply cannot find on the Ford GT production version. The Ford GT CP-1, which wears VIN number 004, came after a red, white, and blue series of prototypes that were simply just static display models, and this black car shown here, VIN 004, was the first ever Ford GT prototype to actually turn on and function, and again, the first Ford GT to be fit with a full interior. Now, having said that, going around this car, it's also important to note that all of the members of the Ford GT development and design team signed this car, including Carrol, Shelby, and Bill Ford. So as you can tell, not only do people like me and you think that this car is awesome, but also the GT development team themselves, having signed this car, really just goes to show how much more special this car is than your typical Ford GT. Now, coming around to the front of the car here, as you can tell, something that's simply definitely not found on the standard production Ford GT are these zip ties here on the front bumper. Now, the actual use of these zip ties, I'm not 100% sure of. It's definitely there to make sure everything stays intact. However, this is something that you seriously will not find on the production version. As you can see here on the right rear quarter panel, there's two quick release valves that were put there in order to aid in swift changing of fuel grades, and all of that's connected to the fuel tank. And also, this car is fitted with a unique prototype exhaust system that really won't be found on any other Ford GT. So it's just interesting to see all of the unique details that this car truly does have implemented on it. Now, speaking of the interior, while we're in here, let's point out a couple of things that you simply will not find on the standard Ford GT production model. Most notably, we could start out with the steering wheel that we have sitting here in front of us. The steering wheel on the Ford GT production version says Ford GT in the center of the steering wheel, and as you can tell here, this is a very early prototype designed steering wheel just to be used to basically have a steering option on this car. This is not something you'll find on the production version of the Ford GT. Also inside the cabin here, another notable feature that immediately tells you that this car is a prototype and not a standard production car is the center console and what it says on it. It says push red button to start VE. And by VE, that is an abbreviation for vehicle, which the Ford engineers used to then show you that this big red button here is how to turn on and start this car. Also on the interior of this car that is not found on the standard production Ford GT are the seats. The seats in this car are slightly different from the seats found in the standard production Ford GT, and those are just a couple of things on this car that are simply just completely different from the production version and make this car a true unique piece of automotive history. I'd like to quickly say thank you to Autosport Designs in Huntington, New York, for allowing me to spend some time with this unique piece of automotive history in order to show you guys more of the details and cool, unique features that this car has. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Ford GT CP-1 prototype or even purchasing this vehicle, it's actually currently for sale by Autosport Design, so be sure to visit their website. You can find it right here below. And if you have any questions regarding this car, feel free to reach out and ask me or contact Autosport Designs directly to learn more about this extremely special automotive icon.